Howdy, folks. My name is Clark Gibson, and this is From the Green Room. Today's excerpt comes from a conversation between myself and Barrett Smith, the bass player for Steep Canyon Rangers, who are set to perform in Chattanooga on November 14th at the Walker Theater. Enjoy. Kind of tell me about how that music scene, whether that be Chapel Hill or Asheville, just kind of in these cooler cities in North Carolina, I would say that what the music scene has been like. Has it always been kind of bluegrass forward, or like what's the change been like since you guys have been playing music?
We way back when in Chapel Hill, I would say it wasn't at all bluegrass forward. A lot of music in a culturally really rich place. The Triangle, you call it, Durham,
Yeah.
Chapel Hill and Raleigh, right? You got Duke and NC State and Chapel Hill right there together. So you got a lot of the arts. The arts are well represented, and a high population of young people. So lots of bands coming through. It was really strong musically, but I wouldn't say that it was that bluegrass was really like acutely popular. It did have a certain kind of hippie appeal. You had a lot of people our age at that point who, let's say, learned that Jerry Garcia played the banjo, and like jam bands, and there was just always in roots American music, bluegrass, like blues or anything else that's like rootsy and American. It had its appeal, but it wasn't so popular. I'd say that we were a little bit of an anomaly at the time, being so excited about it and pursuing it so much, especially the way we did. And I say we, I wasn't actually in the band then, but we were all hanging out together. There was a pursuing of like traditional bluegrass music and going to the traditional festivals and really buttoned up and meeting all the heroes of that genre and idolizing them, and that's what was going on. Then you come over here to Asheville, a few years later, and not only is it just kind of intrinsically more acoustic bluegrass, old time, this city and this region just has a giant history of that, more so than Chapel Hill does. Also, a few years later, this whole thing had percolated a little bit, and I'd say it was a little more popular at that point, which worked very well for the band. And then you had "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" came out, which was one of the big kind of bumps of bluegrass music. All these
Yeah.
kind of happened at the same time and served the band really well.
Yeah, I definitely credit that soundtrack. I was a young kid when that movie came out, but I credit that soundtrack for being what introduced me to roots music or bluegrass or whatever you want to call it. I mean, that was in steady rotation at my house.
It's great. I mean, it's one of the things, bluegrass as a genre of music, which, we geek out about and are really have thought a lot more than your average person about the history of it, has these bumps. Strangely, the Beverly Hillbillies is a big one
Hmm.
because the theme song of the Beverly Hillbillies is Flatt and Scruggs. Even just Flatt and Scruggs, like Earl Scruggs joining Bill Monroe's band and the banjo becoming a part of bluegrass. These are bumps. Oh Brother Art Thou was a really big one actually, and now strangely, really Billy Strings.
Yeah.
I would personally consider his ascension and his success, and his popularity to be really one of the big bumps in the history of the genre.
That was Barrett Smith of the Steep Canyon Rangers. They are set to perform in Chattanooga on November the 14th at the Walker Theater. From the Green Room is a production of WUTC. To hear the full version of this interview, head to WUTC.org. My name is Clark Gibson. Thank you very much for listening.